Hello, everyone. Welcome to Spiritism at Noon by the Spiritist Group of New York. We are currently studying the book A Full Life by Joanna de Angelis through the mediumship of Divaldo Franco. And we are in chapter 12. Each topic, she brings a different subject for us to learn, to discuss, to reflect upon. So today there is a very important, very interesting subject. She's talking about being grateful. So be grateful. And I'm going to start reading and then we stop for comments. Gratitude has traditionally been defined as the act of showing appreciation for a benefit received. Certainly, it is the way to express recognition for the good that has been done to us. It is an act of good manners, the product of social education. But a show of appreciation does not always imply a sentiment of gratitude which runs much deeper. Every time individuals show appreciation, they promote progress and change their own emotional landscape while strengthening the feeling of community. I'm going to stop here because I think this I read so beautiful. Um, we take it for granted many times when we could go to people and say, "Thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate it," even if it's not directly to you. But I appreciated what you did. You know, the book that you wrote, the painting that you painted, the words that you just said, or any kind of work, any kind of contribution that people are giving to the world. Many times we just don't go, and I mean, maybe we may feel shy about it, not necessarily because we did not like it or appreciate it, but we think, oh, what is the point of just telling that? But here Joana de Angelis is saying that this sentiment of gratitude, they they promote well-being in ourselves. So every time we express our gratitude to something, we are working for the better for ourselves. And of course, the whole environment, everyone that it's being witnessed to our display of appreciation, will be as well impacted by it. And like she says here, little by little, it strengthens this feeling of community. I mean, it can be a neighbor that all of a sudden, she now we are close to, some holidays, and people put their decorations, and it's just a matter of us going there and saying, "Oh my God, I like it so much. How nice of you to put some decoration." It can be something simple as that, like a pumpkin on the door, celebrating Thanksgiving, or or a skeleton for Halloween, whatever, just by saying, and of course, next time you see that neighbor, she's going to feel more inclined to be nice to you as well. And so everything is, all of that strengthen the community, as she says. Uh, Words of appreciation, I would say, are never enough, right? The idea, of course, is not to feed any kind of vanity on the person, or a negative kind of pride, but just for us really just to say and to express what we are feeling. You want to say anything?
I agree, and I always talk to my kids. If you have something good to say it. But if you have some bad to say, shut up, you know?
It's a good policy. I like it. And it's amazing how fast we are in saying what displeases us, And we never say anything, we never manifest what pleases us and what we really think that has value. Of course, what has value to me may not necessarily be what has value to you, but regardless of that, we all know how to appreciate things, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's read a little more then. Somehow the egoic attitude changes to show the collaborative meaning of life. Everything that exists is the result of exchanges and continual transformation in the form of complex cooperative mechanism, that is, processes of reciprocating. To give back is to value what was received, the giver and the circumstances, demonstrating that one is an active part of the community, adding vitality and meaning. In the moral realm, however, due to the instinct of self preservation, human beings cling to their own interests, wrongly believing that they deserve favors, although their insatiable ego is always expecting more without ever feeling the need to give. So she's trying to explain to us here that in this general sense of being grateful, of understanding and appreciate the values of others, the contribution that they are giving to society, right? And I mean, even when we do not understand, uh, in their own way, people are giving their contribution. And in this sense, very much like when we are going to think about the a mechanical watch, it requires the tiny piece to be there to fulfill its tasks in order for the whole thing to work. So it's very much like that. Sometimes we don't feel much. Let's say that you have a very, very tiny garden, basically just a vase, but you decided to make it beautiful, or to plant some herbs that people in your community can benefit from it, be it because it is beautiful, be it because it's going to be a fresh herb. It doesn't need to be something big, you see. But of course, many times we are just thinking about ourselves. We want all the time that others to provide to us, but when it comes to our turn, I just want people to give me. I'm not thinking about giving anything back. And this is how sometimes we shut ourselves so much, and we 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 actually lose precious opportunities of enticing people each time more to go to their bests. Hey, Fabio, welcome. And go ahead. Anyone has any comment? Yeah. Okay, so let's read a little more. They isolate themselves whenever possible, fulfill only the duties that interest them, and observe other people's problems from afar, assigning themselves moral values that they really do not yet possess until reaching maturity. Gratitude is a novel feeling to them. It is a form of respect for life that has not yet been consolidated into their experience. It is easy to show external material gratitude which does not possess the quality that make it genuine, such as feelings of affection and a real desire to build the good whatever one might be. That is why gratitude may be expressed by looking at someone in a certain way, by offering a timely word, or by giving a meaningful smile. It will not be the size or the price of the gift that shows our gratitude, but the emotion and the love expressed by the giver. So we are not used to that. And I mean, and even when sometimes come and say something good, nice to us, I mean, many people may have the reaction, oh my God, this person wants something from me. Why all of a sudden it comes and says something nice, or we are always on the lookout for the worst thing in people, or worst things in people, and this is what sometimes prevent us to manifest this kind of gratitude, because people is going to find it strange, but we have to change it, right? We have to be the ones that dare to say something, daring to say something good, right? For a change. And that person that is going to receive that, all of a sudden, knowing that it's completely free of any personal interest, will say, oh, it felt so good. Maybe, and they are going to start little by little to incorporate that in their own lives. Again, like it says here, it doesn't need to be much. Sometimes it's just, you know, like, the thumbs up, good work, wow, something like this, the silent applauses, or, and I think we need so much that. Right? There is so many difficult things, ugly things happening with us around the world. And to have people that could come and say something nice and show appreciation for, the things that you do, it's inspiring, it's inspire people to do each time more and more. Any comment or question? Yes, Marcel?
But Jussara, here in the United States, because I'm just 1 year here, the things are different. So sometimes I feel uncomfortable to be myself. When I live in Mexico, I always preparing cakes, muffins, cookies for my kids. And there in Brazil, it's normal, yeah, okay, I will bring to the doorman one, and they love it, and I feel, gratitude. I like it to share. But here I feel that, I don't feel comfortable to do this, because I never saw anyone doing, okay, I'm bringing you a cookie. Another day I opened the door because I heard the guy cleaning the carpet, and said, "Do you want to cook?" And he looked at like, "Oh my God, what is inside?" He was like shocked, you know. So I don't know if I can do it, if it's the people think that I want to kill them with my, you know, culturally it's different. So I don't know how I need to deal. Maybe I need to not do it anymore, I don't know. It's just express something that I'm happy with me here.
Yeah, you see, one thing that I learned, moving from one country to another and then another, is that people are the same everywhere. But yes, they have different costumes, and they have different habits, and because of the situation, because they were brought up, we are not here saying what is better, what is not. We just seeing that. But it always requires people to break the pattern. So I think that we also, because we hear, oh, people here do not like it. I don't think this is true, and this is what we hear. Okay, people here are not used to it, but it doesn't mean that if you do that, people will not like that. I
No.
remember, some uh, uh, afternoon parties or parties that I went even with Sonia, that there was a bunch of Americans, and then we had the fresh from the oven pão de queijo, cheese bread, and I mean the Americans would be crazy about having them once they try it, and here is like. I understand that we should not exaggerate. We should respect in some things, but I mean, if you're cooking and you feel like it, go there, put there, you do your part. Take a plate of cooks and say, you know what, I baked this for you guys. You worked too hard. Thank you so much for your work. Leave it there. If they eat it or not, it's their problem. But I think they will. I think they will, and they will in time be expecting more. And the thing is, you see, this is what you exactly what you said to your children. We are always so fast in showing when we are displeased with something, but when it comes to show appreciation, many people go into that mode of, they are doing their job. Uh, they're not doing anything more than their obligation. And no, I think we should try to do that more, saying hello to the neighbors. And I wouldn't go as much as giving cookies to children or etc., but to adults.
Yes, could be.
Okay.
I will try and I will tell what's happening.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure they will say something. Let's make this an experience. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's keep reading
Can
here.
I say something
Oh, sure,
to
absolutely.
sort of?
Yeah.
So, Marcel, there's a beautiful prayer of gratitude in the Gospel according to Spiritism. At the very end,
Yeah.
it's a very beautiful prayer because maybe it's a way of you appreciating the fact that you have this task in front of you, which is to make new friends, and don't stop being yourself, because your way will attract likewise minds and people like you who will have the same energy and love for life in the same way that you do, but because they've been here for so long, they can't express themselves anymore. You know what I mean? Because this happens to a lot of foreigners from a Latin country. They move to a cold, rational, direct Anglo-Saxon country. It's a shock of cultures, yes, but they are all there. People like you are all under the disguise of being afraid or being downcast or being depressed most of sometimes. So those are two things that I just like to add. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's interesting that you said that, Fabio, because if there is one thing that many people agree in the world is how Brazilians are nice, right?
Yes, exactly. You have
Why?
to keep up with the idea that they have of us. So I'm not doing that, but you go ahead and do it.
Yeah, but so why do we have this, label? Because most places where we go, we have this personality, we have this way, we share, we say hello, we smile, we are interested in knowing who are you, what you're doing with your life, and you see, so and even say, oh my God, this is so beautiful that you did, when people are going to be, oh, maybe I should not say anything. And this is what she's saying here, in terms of, appreciation for people and their jobs and everything that they are doing in their life. So let's keep on reading here. When Jesus was carrying the cross, he fell more than once due to its weight. A centurion pulled a man from the crowd and with his whip forced him to help Jesus. Noticing that his load had lightened, the master looked back and saw the man. His tender and grateful look was so profound that this man of Syrian is Cyrene, it's a place, would never forget him. He started to love Jesus from that moment on and completely changed the course of his existence. The scriptural notes narrates that ever since that day, his life and that of his family changed for the better, and they were never the same. And the man of Cyrene became the symbol of those who sacrifice themselves to help others in the darkest hour. At that moment, a wave of the master's tenderness enveloped him and caused him to be reborn, uh, to become a different man. And you see here, it was not that he offered, all right? He was whipped to go there and to help, but with the gratitude that was demonstrated, it was like, it changed him completely. Of course, here we are talking about, a poor man, a poor soul, and Jesus. But when we do that, I remember once, I don't remember who told me that, but there was this couple and a child, probably an 8-year, from what I remember, an 8-year-old boy. And they were on the subway here in New York. And all of a sudden, this boy he stood up and went to the man that was close to them and embraced the man. And of course, very much like what you were saying, Marcel, the parents were worried and oh my God, this is not something that we do here. He's just going there and embracing a strange. And then the stranger looked at them and the parents seeing their concern and said, you have no idea how much I needed this embrace today. So you see, this is not what I'm trying to, I'm saying go out and embrace everyone. But I mean, sometimes people pass by next to me and I look at them and I smile. I don't know what they will think about me, but I don't care. And but you see, one thing like that changes the person inside, right? And in this case, of course, completely him and his family and etc. But in our case as well, when you go out, you take the elevator and see someone and say, good morning to you. I hope you have a good day. I mean, even if for the person that compliment becomes a surprise, there's no way that the person is not going to be impacted by that kind of greeting, right? So let's continue. There is a huge need for the spirit of gratitude on the earth, huge need, which has become an arid place devoid of the blossoms of joy among the people. We have never had so much knowledge and so many psychotherapeutic tools to help individuals with problems of their own creation. Unaccustomed to being kind and loving, imprisoning the being in an unhealthy selflessness and constant dysthymia produces hormonal disturbances in the area of affectivity and torments the patient themselves who have difficult loving, trusting, and giving themselves. The act of loving resulting from our trust in God and consequently in all creatures, wherever they are. When we experience the salt of love during the physical existence, life has meaning and purpose, and we have a reason for being and for living. People adopt certain external behaviors while they are inwardly eaten alive by the flames of desire and anguish because of unfulfilled ambitions. A flower is a symbol of the plant's gratefulness to the humus that feeds its roots. Brilliance is the unrefined diamond's gratefulness to the tools that polished it. A molded metal object is grateful to the furnace that gave it beauty and purpose. A delicate butterfly fluttering in the air expresses the gratitude for no longer being a slow crawling caterpillar. Everything changes and improves, even when it seems to have degraded, which is only a transition. Therefore, be grateful for the pain that shows you for your fragile reality. So, like she says here, we need that so much. We need those displays of love or affection, compassion, gratitude so much. But and we expect that from others, but we are not giving the example sometimes. I was thinking, for instance, now, I do that naturally, but every time I take the bus a lot, and every time I take the bus and I have to leave, I always go to the person who is driving and say thank you so much. And then I step up. I don't even know whether they like it, because then it takes me a while to say, thank you so much. Maybe they would prefer that I just jump and, they can be free. But I don't know. I'll just go there and say, thank you. Like, I'm acknowledging you and your work, and you um, being useful to me. So those little things that it's so easy, and I mean, we should be doing. After all, that person, because of the work of that person driving from one place to the other all day long, it made my life better, right? Otherwise, I would have to walk or this or that, and here, she's saying that even when we, like, right at the beginning, when we say, when you do that, there is a whole process that happens in your physical body, in terms of, uh, uh, the moving of hormones and everything. But those are hormones, good ones, like, that are going to be feeding your body with this good energy, with more hope, and all of those things. And even understanding that somehow, like she mentions here, uh, how hard it can be is for us to serve and to bring pleasant things to others, like they're talking here about the flower, the diamond, the molded metal, the butterfly. When we look at it and say, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but they had to go to a process, to a difficult process of pain, of transformation. And the same thing is happening to us. And this is what she's inviting us to do. Any question or comment? Yes, Marcel?
I am thinking not just this gratitude about the others, but I'm thinking, with God, or gratitude with our life. So other day I was listening a podcast with Oprah, and she was talking with a woman. She said, and I learned it with her, because when I will sleep, I do all my praise to, and I have gratitude in that moment. And she said, no, I started to do along of the day, So I stopped some minutes during the morning, and I demonstrate, or to the universe, or to God, how grateful I am to be alive this day. And during afternoon, I stopped some minutes, and I remember again how grateful I am for this day. And I feel so interested, because, as you said, just change our hormones. So serotonin, we change the cortisol levels, and we feel more happy. It's not just uh, you know, it's not for the others, but for ourselves. So I started to do this, you know, stop a little bit for a while during the day. Okay, how grateful. This day is so beautiful. Or I have this, or I have that. Because if I just do this the final of the day, maybe I can't enjoy so much this day, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just a thing that I listened this year.
Yeah, it is a good idea, especially because sometimes tonight when you go to sleep, you're already so tired. At the middle of your appreciation and prayer, you sleep, right? Yeah, and I think I mean, the more you do that along the day, like you said, the more you are releasing those hormones and all the well-being hormones and all of that that is going to make you feel better. And of course, here we are not just, like you said, you are not just talking about being grateful to the world, to others, but above all to ourselves. A good pat on the back is very good. We can do that ourselves, you know. Oh my God, I like it the way you did things today, the way you know you react in a certain situation that happened to you, the work that you did during the day, all of those things, you know. um, and I think that always motivate us to do more, to accomplish more, or to go in the right direction, right? So cooperate with the spiritual development of humankind, granting your adversary the right of still lingering in the lower stage for the time being. Be grateful for having surpassed it and for being the victim instead of the cause of someone else's suffering. How many lepers were there in the group that Jesus healed? When why did only one return to thank him for his life and speedy recovery? And as far as the others, where did they go? Life was uncertainly waiting for them, the ungrateful, around the world. It is true that everything is transitory, but gratitude renders you indebted to the good angel who was at your side at the proper moment. Do not ever forget it. As for yourself, do all the good you can without expecting a reward, because your reward is the satisfaction you feel for what you have done. The joy felt by those who turn on a light is the blessing of enlightenment. So you see, here I think that she is trying to tell us. And sometimes, you know, when I say I think it, because I cannot know exactly what Joanna de Angelis was thinking, right? We may have a hint. This is why we have this study group. It's like she's saying, you know, it is up to us, and we should not look at others' behaviors just to determine our behavior. I guess we can even come back to the example that you brought, Marcel, in terms of, you know, I'm refraining myself from doing things because I was told that people here in this special community country do not like that. Have we asked them? Would you be happy if every now and then I bring you some sweets that I bake that are very delicious? You know, if they say, don't trouble yourself, no, because sometimes, because of the way they were brought up, they think they are obliged to reciprocate. But maybe you say, and don't worry about reciprocating. I'm just doing that because I like to do that, you know. And like she says here, um, there are so many people that are not there yet, that they do not have this kind of understanding. uh, you know, we are already looking for a spiritual evolvement and a spiritual understanding, and we are doing the work, we are doing whatever is necessary for us to, you know, to get there. But there's no point in us saying, I'm not doing it because people are not doing that to me. Bad for them and good for you that you're doing it. So we are not, our model and guide is Jesus. And when we look at Jesus, we are so far away from Jesus. There's so much room for improvement. Why are we going to compare ourselves with people that are not even at our level, which is not that good, truth be told? So this is what she's saying. You do that out of your goodwill, out of your understanding as well, not only being able to verbalize what you truly feel, but also knowing how those words or that glance that you're going to give at people, that demonstration of appreciation is going to be good to them. So let us not worry about the ones that are not going to be grateful. I mean, if I'm baking those cookies they take in there, it's not because I will expect them to say, "Oh my God, those are the best cookies that I ate in my entire life. Keep them coming." Or if they don't say anything, it's not because they did not appreciate. Maybe some of them, are on a diet and would prefer not having it, or diabetes or whatever, but because they may feel shy, and maybe perhaps when they say that, make you feel the obligation to have to do it again. So, don't we should not worry about any kind of reward, like it says here, because the reward is you knowing that you did something that is good. Any comment or question? So as she finished saying, as for the ungrateful, feel sorry for them, because the needs which spare no one will also be knocking at their door at the proper time. Jesus' resurrection is the most beautiful testimony of love and gratefulness to those who killed his body, because without death, there could not have been the glorious resurrection. So I think that what she's trying to say here, you know what? You even killed Jesus. And he came back because he knows you need them. He showed to you that there's nothing you can do to me that will not make me love you and appreciate you and seeing you as brothers and sisters, as children of the same God. I just understand that you don't have the knowledge, you do not have the understanding, but as a professor, it's my obligation to go and to show you the way. So I think it's this lesson in terms of gratitude. It's so important for us, because as we were saying, sometimes we really uh, shy. We get shy in showing our emotions, in showing any sign of appreciation, and even to ourselves. Sometimes we push ourselves too much, and I know that I have the tendency of doing that. I say I work at 3 hours. I said, why didn't you work 4 or 5 or 6? So we have to think about it, and put all of this into work. Any comment or question?